One, two, 1, 2, need my attitude. 3, 4, 3, 4, check my latitude. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that.
Hello, everyone. How we doing today, Brittany?
Good. It's been a good day. You know what's really exciting, though?
What?
Last week, we rolled out the Skyline Circle.
We did.
And in a week, we have our end-of-year party.
We do. And as much as, here's the thing with the end of the year party. Here's my problem with it. Our goal is 50 people, right? That's our goal. And that's a wonderful goal. Except right now, we're at 42 people.
So we need 8.
No, 42 is the perfect number.
Oh,
it's the answer to everything. But now we got to find 8 more. And so I just need, these 8 people need to be like fantastic. Because they're above the answer to everything. So that's like boom, 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 boom.
But percentage-wise, we need like 12 to like 20 more people.
Oh, percentage-wise, we need 300 more people. No. We want 300 more people. I'm not limiting it at 8. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying to get 50 percentage-wise to show up, we need like 75.
That's probably true. Because there are a few people on the list, and we know who you are. I'm looking right at the camera that you're not actually coming to the party. But we appreciate your registration. But I also know like my partner signed up for it, and he's like, I will pop in, but I'm not staying for 3 hours. And I get that. And I want everybody to know you don't have to come for the full 3 hours. We want you to be there. So if you can come for an hour or whatever, like we want you to be there. And that's why we did it as a drop-in concept. There's games happening the whole time, networking happening the whole time. We want you to be there. And if you can come for the whole 3 hours, come on. Right. I actually had somebody tell me yesterday, and I'm not going to say who it is because I don't know if they want me to call them out, but they're like, I am ready. I'm going to have my glass of wine or my eggnog. And I'm like, girl, we're good with this. She's like all planning her life out for it. So
I popped into the end of the eggnog warning
conversation. Yeah. You did. So it was a good conversation though. But yeah, I think that it's going to be a lot of fun, and like Brittany said, to meet our goal, we would like 8 more people registered, but to meet our goal of actual attendees, we probably need about 75 people registered. So please push it out. Please invite people, anybody that would benefit from networking, that would just benefit from having some fun. Right? It's the end of the year, and we accomplished a lot this year, which leads me, you know how we're going to have a couple more episodes that we have to do between now and the end of the year. One of those should be accomplishments of the year, the great things that we did. We should brag a little bit, and some of the people in our circle, right? Some of the good things.
We could do a video montage.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. But no, a nonprofit that I do some work for, they're doing like this top 10 things cool things they did for the year. And it's going to be like their end of the year email. And I think that we could do like some sort of end of the year video for that.
We could have some guests on for it.
Ooh. This could be snappy. All right. We might have to think about that because it's almost the end of the year. So let's think about how we can make that happen and make it fun. Maybe we have people submit videos instead of going live. And like you said, we do a montage and we put it all together. Let's think about that. So party next Monday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Whatever time that is in your time zone. And I'm not going to list all of them around the world, unfortunately. I am not going to.
So if you're in Europe, don't worry. We're doing a mid-year, midday party. So
yes.
we get it. You're going to be asleep. please do not strain yourself to try to make it. We will in July do this again.
Yes. But also between now and July, we have co-working and accountability and all of these things that if you can't make it in the middle of the night in Europe, then we completely understand. Come to one of these other things or come to our, I don't know what we're going to call it, mid-year something. We'll call it something fun. Since this was end of the year party, maybe it's mid-year party, but that seems boring. End of the year party sounds more exciting than mid-year party.
I
We
think
need
though,
to come up.
at the end of the year, you're looking at like completion, right?
Mm,
Mid-year, you're like, man, we're only halfway through this.
and you're like, can I make it? I don't know. I'm in the desert crawling.
But what I
Right.
love about what we're doing, right? We have 50 people coming. We just got
Mhm.
done with that expo, and the
Yeah.
expo had about 40 to 50 people at any given time in the room.
Sure.
Now their room was silent, and then they'd all go to the other go brunch spaces, right? But for
We're
us,
not silent, just so if
we're
anybody cares. We're not silent.
there will not be mics muted, unless you have background noise.
Sure.
But we are going to really, this is going to be when all of our 13 main rooms get showcased. So inside of the skyscraper, we have built some amazing rooms out. We have the spooky library, which is number 13. We have the observatory. We've got a castle. We have a break room, which was super fun to create. But being able to really expand and let people see the skyscraper, this is going to be the first time that it's actually like rolled out. So I'm excited
Yes.
for that.
Well, and all of the people in our skyscraper, their rooms will, most of them will be available for touring, and some of them will be involved in the games and all of that. So I think it'll be exciting just to interact with everyone in the skyscraper. And yeah, it's going to be a blast. That's all I can say. Even just if you come for the conversation, I can guarantee you will enjoy the people you meet.
Yeah,
So
love it. I'm excited for the party. Like you said, 42 people, and I was just looking at the list, and I don't know everybody.
I know that was the best part. And I think that's a little bit to do with, I know that Ali and Terry have invited people.
Yeah.
And so their circles are a little bit outside of our circles, but we're merging our circles a little bit. Look at that, expanding.
Yes,
And
so we
so,
look forward to you bringing guests
yes,
in and bringing your network in. This, like I said, this is a space where we get to really go outside of our out of what we're used to. So I'm super excited to do this.
yes. And one quick thing, if you're thinking, oh, I shouldn't come because my kids are around, or I shouldn't come because my dog might bark. This morning, I was on a one-on-one call that my dog was literally half on my lap because she thought she was getting hash brown, but I didn't even. But she was half on my lap, just sitting right here. It doesn't matter. We want you to join, right? Go ahead.
You took a screenshot yesterday of the statue cat. Poor
That was
Dominic
cool.
has this cat that just sits in front of his camera. Does not care that he is having a conversation, but just sits there, regal, like he belongs there.
By the way, its name is Prince, so definitively regal. Probably a little bit of a narcissistic cat. We're okay with it though. Very
And
cute.
does it
very
look
cute.
at the camera?
No, like
Does it?
I'm too
Yeah.
good for you. I'm too
Yeah.
good. I know
Exactly.
something's happening. I'm just too good for it.
I just need to be in the middle of it.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah, because Dad is taking time away from me with this TV thing. So yeah. No, animals and kids and all of that, don't let it stop you if that is one of your barriers. But our party made me think of other activities that happen at the end of the year, right? And a lot of things that happen at the end of the year involve family that we don't normally live with. right? Because the family we normally live with understand us on our day to day, our quirks, our loves, our entrepreneurial adventures, and they love us for all of that. If they live with us and we interact with them regularly. But at the holidays, we get together with Aunt so and so and Uncle so and so,
Our
and even
non-chosens.
our non chosens. And sometimes even our parents fall into the category of, wait, you're an entrepreneur? Wait, you work from home? Maybe you should get a real job, right?
And just so you all know, this was not a topic picked by Sarah and I. It was a
Mm-mm.
topic picked by a chosen.
Mhm.
Um, which makes it really good because one, Sarah and I are awful. We just pick the topic 2 seconds once we get on, right before the music starts. But two, it means that other people are thinking about this in
Yes.
their space and in their realm. And I think that there is something to be said about the holidays and being alone and not vocalizing how you feel or not really knowing where those safe spaces are.
Right. Yes, yes. And I have to say most of my family interactions around this have actually not been around the holidays, which is interesting. But I had family visit me not this summer, but the summer before. And they drove all the way here and they were actually driving through and said, "Hey, let's spend some time together on XYZ day." But one of the first things that happened was one of them were like, "So how are things going?" And I started going, and they're like, "Oh, you don't have a real job yet. I thought you would have gotten one by now." I need whoever's watching this. I have worked remotely from home for almost 19 years now. If you ever thought I was going to get a real job by whatever definition that is in your head, I would have done it by now, and you could just stop talking about it.
Well, but
You know
also
what I
I
mean?
have
Like,
paid my bills for 19 years.
right. Those nights, I've never asked you for money. I've never not had a roof over my head. I've no, I was gonna say I never had like utilities cut off, but I did once. The auto payment stopped paying, and then all of a sudden, some guy comes to your driveway and cuts off your water. I didn't realize the auto payment stopped. Point being is I've always paid it though, right? Like even then, I made the guy stand there until I paid it, and then he turned it back on. But it's one of those things I've never had to do that for 19 years. Like what do you think a real job is? But my point is I'm a very direct person. I'll tell somebody to fly a kite. Okay. But a lot of people don't have that ability, Brittany. They don't have the ability to say to their family, fly a kite. So, what are some tools that people can use, or words, or even I wish somebody was on here to talk about breathing exercises because I don't really have those, but what are some things that people could do to get through it, right?
I think the first thing is really recognizing what you're walking into.
Mm,
Sometimes we are under that umbrella of, holy cow, I'm safe. I'm going to go be with family. I'm safe. This is okay. And it's going to be a great experience. What ends up happening though is we are sugarcoating to make sure that we're not anxious beforehand, right? We're doing different things. But when
we're
you can
pushing it down a little bit.
yeah,
Hmm.
when you can accept this person has this view, these people have this view, and this is a conversation that this specific person always brings up, you can then be prepared for it. But one of the things that we were talking about, Sarah, is people are, you cannot change how people think.
Hmm.
You can have a conversation with them, but even then, there's certain people who don't know how to have a fair debate
Right.
or a conversation. It's always, I'm correct, I'm this, I'm that. And when you can accept that is their point of view, then you can navigate that conversation differently and you can show up with the right tools because it does depend on how people treat you as to what that looks like.
Correct. Um, And I do have a it's a funny suggestion, I think, in some ways, but it is serious and can be used. But the suggestion comes from Eminem, the rap star. Okay, so
Not the
in
red one?
not the red one. No, I mean that those make the holidays a little bit better too. If you could have a bag of M&Ms in your purse or your pocket, go for it. But no, Eminem, the rapper, in his movie, I don't know if anybody's watched it, but if you haven't, I can send you the clip where there's a couple of rap battles that he loses because the person says all these things about him and he gets into his head. But then there's that one rap battle where he gets there and he just states all of his problems out so that the other guy can't say anything negative about him. He ends it with, now say something they don't know about me. Right. So if you're in a family environment where this is always brought up, bring it up first. Walk up to that aunt who always gives you crap about not having a job and just be like, look, I don't have a real job, and quote in the air, but these are all the cool things I did this year. You want to hear about them? And if you say it out loud, it diminishes their ability to tear you down with it, right? To make you feel bad for something you should never feel bad for. So if you want me to send you that clip, I can. If you've never seen it, it's kind of amazing. But in a sense, like, say it out loud yourself. Say, I've been super successful this year in my business. Let me tell you about it. And if you're proud of your successes, then that diminishes the negative things that they can say about you.
Yeah. And I love that head-on, feature of it of I'm just gonna, hey, let's just have this conversation now so I don't have to deal with it later. And I also love that aspect of this is my proud, this is my
Mhm.
happy. I am going to recognize that in some spaces, it doesn't matter what your proud is.
Mhm.
And
That is true.
sometimes, and that's where we're talking about, like, what tools do we come with, right? When you
Yeah.
walk into a room and you say, this is what I'm proud of, and you can have a majority of that room support you, phenomenal. When you walk into
But
a room and you say, this is what I'm proud of, and not one single person cares
it's
because it's not
crickets.
their space and it's not their understanding, sometimes the best thing to do is to let them have it.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
mine was
walk,
just one
don't
suggestion.
even, yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. And that's why I'm saying, like, I love that. And that's perfect in specific situations. And that's why we talk about those tools. But I do want to recognize that, and there's there's a place where you can say how proud you are, and it
Mhm.
and it means nothing. And I think that that ends up happening, and when that happens, right, when you're like, oh, I did this and I'm so proud of myself, and everyone's just kind of looking at you, or the person you're talking to is looking at you, it takes you back for a second, right? It takes a step. Once again, we talked about, well, I think I'm safe, I think I'm this, I think I'm that. And so when we now are like, oh, not a safe place, not where okay, great. When you can recognize and adjust and say, so what are you up to? Right? You
Just
can
let them
always
talk
be
about
quiet.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you and I talk about that. There's a specific person that I get stuck networking with, and that's what I do.
You ask the right question, they just start talking about themselves, and yeah.
Um, but understand that we get it, right? There isn't one
Mhm.
solution for everything. There isn't a we're gonna say this is gonna work, and every situation is different. I love the let's just tell you what I'm proud of. This is what I've done. I'm standing firm in who I am. I love the idea of if you say it and they still don't uh, honor that, great, let's move forward.
Well,
Let's
and
not dwell in it.
I think one of your first suggestions was, like, and I can't remember exact wording, but it was sometimes you just have to protect yourself and not talk about it at all, right? Sometimes you just go and now you're just in family mode. You talk about previous memories and when you were in the 3rd grade, and you just like, just don't even talk about your endeavors, the new things that you're doing, because if you know going into it that they've never understood, it's okay to protect yourself.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
So.
protecting yourself is great. Going with an ally is phenomenal. If you have a partner who can go with you, who can change subjects when people are being of mean status, being an ally is amazing. I think that when we're in family situations, if the allies would hang out with each other, it would be a whole different situation. So really, but also another way of approaching it, right? We have the head on, I'm proud of this. We have the, oh, let's talk about you. We have the, I don't even talk about anything past graduation. But then also there is the, you know, conversation of just authentically showing up, and if asked, honest answers. And when pushed differently, say, I already answered that, right? I can be honest, I can tell you what it is, but if you're going to question or continue this in a negative, I'm not going to continue that conversation. I won't engage. And really telling people I'm not going to engage in this conversation.
Well, and I think these tools too, just to state it out loud, I think we're talking about entrepreneurial adventures, working from home, those type of things. But honestly, I know a lot of women have went through this of, oh, when are you giving me a baby or a next baby, right? A grandchild, like those conversations. Why aren't you moving closer to here? We'd love to see you more. Like there's so many hard
Why are you a
conversations.
CEO of a really big company and not at home?
Right, exactly, right? And so I think we gloss over the hard conversations that happen around the holidays and how stressful they can be for people. And it's our situations, right, that can cause some of these, but it's also a lot of hard conversations when you don't see somebody for months, and then all of a sudden you're in a house with them sometimes for 2 or 3 days at any given point. It can be rough. And taking care of yourself mentally in those situations and emotionally in those situations can really help you get through to the other side in a better, I don't even know what the word, state than you normally would. Do we have comments?
No.
Oh.
Steve popped into the lobby though. So
The co-working lobby. Oh,
he popped into the co-working lobby. But I do want to address something that came to mind. And then Steve popped in the pound and the things. Say 2 things that you were talking about so I can get back on track.
Mental and emotional support for yourself, like making sure that no matter what the conversations are, you take a little bit of time for yourself over the holidays to get your mental and emotional self into a good state.
And that you're perfect. I love that. Why do we have to have those conversations?
With ourselves or with
No,
other
why
people?
do we have to have the conversations that people are requiring us to have at the holidays? They weren't there for the past 12 months. Why do we need to have them today?
I love that you ask the why. The problem is that I would love to suggest to people just don't go home for the holidays, right? And don't have those conversations. But it's more, I think the problem is that we all want to see, let me explain to you this way. Every holiday, right? There is someone I want to see that is going to be in the house that I am heading to. Okay. No matter what, there's always someone. Usually they're under 12. Okay. That's the person I'm like, I am going to color like there's no tomorrow, right? Because this person will want to color with me. But most people have that one person, so they deal with everybody else, right? Like I remember Christmases back in my previous life, but there were there were people I hated. If I never saw them begin in my life, but I dealt with them at the holidays because there were two gorgeous girls, my nieces, that I would have done anything to go to those holidays and see them. Do you get my point? And I think that I dealt with it because of that. I dealt with the snide comments and the crappy looks and everything because of that.
And so we have been gamifying our end of year party.
Yeah.
And so when you were talking and that question of why do we have to have this conversation came into my brain, I was thinking about when you go to the store and you have those card decks of conversation topics,
Yes.
right? Like, let's start a different tradition. Let's
Oh.
start different conversations. Let's look at what could be the conversation at the holidays instead of your success rate, you're this rate, you're that, you're this, right? What if we did ask, what made you happy this year? What if we did ask, what is it that you are the proudest of? Right? What if those were, how do you feel about your life?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so if we had that card deck and somebody asked a question and you would be like, no, 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 no. Here, this is a new topic I want to talk about, and hand them a card, right? And say, how about you answer that question for me?
I think that is amazing. And all I think about though is that and I use aunt as like a generic term of family member. So I imagine that aunt that is always like me, right? And then you ask them, what are you proud of this year? And they'll be like, oh, like, I won best peach pie at the fair or something, right? And you're like, see, having successes, right? And you can actually have that conversation, and they might actually see that success isn't always about having a baby or having a real job. Or
Can we make a deck?
we cannot do it before Thanksgiving. We can't do that either. That would be hard. We could do it
before next
Thanksgiving. We really can't do that before our party. But we could come up with a few, like maybe like a page of questions.
Yeah.
But I think that might be our first product we create, the Keystone Network conversation cards.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
I love that. I think that it really, you know what, that question makes me uncomfortable, but here's an option. Pick a card.
Pick a card, any
about
card.
Yeah. I think that is a huge, that would be great in the ADHD world. That would be great in autism's level. Like,
I think if we started out though as, yeah, like what do you say around family for the holidays? I think that's a good one to do. But I think also, do you have a problem networking and actually having a conversation and one-on-ones? Here's 52 topics that you could discuss at networking calls that I wish I could make a joke right now, but I can't. Okay, so I'll type it to you later. But that actually feed into good networking conversations.
Yeah, like what is your best collaboration this month?
Mm-hmm.
Like who have you collaborated with this entire year? We have so many different businesses that we've collaborated with due to the, renting rooms to business owners and creating the expo, and the people who have signed up to be sponsors inside of the party, freebies and door prizes. And just going live with people and building connections. I think that there is a huge space of where have you been and what have you done? So I love that. Super excited. That's what happens when Sarah and I hang out.
We create things that'll be done by next Thanksgiving, apparently.
Yeah.
Hopefully before that, but
By Halloween so you can get it shipped to you.
There you go. All right. So first and foremost, we're getting close to our 30-minute mark. So at the bottom there, we have our reminder for the end of the year party. The links will be in all of the chat sections, comment sections, whatever of these locations, probably by the end of the day. But if you're watching this before you see those, please reach out to us and we'll send you that link to register. So Brittany, who are you and why should people know Brittany?
My name is Brittany. I am the owner of BizStorming. I am an accountability and tech strategist. So I help those tornadoes in a bottle, right? Because business owners are doing so much and they're just constantly going. But it's really hard when you don't feel like you're making an effect or touching the world. So what I do is I help them shatter that glass. And we do that through alignment. So your business is an entity, you are an entity, and you have to align. Once we find that alignment of where you're going in 20 years, what you have to do today, then we really focus on the tech and the delegation to make sure that you're fully supported in all of those tasks.
Wonderful. And she does way better at her pitch because I've added a few things to mine, so I'm still working out the details. But I am a business strategist that focuses on HR and leadership practices and policies for small and medium-sized companies. But I also do online trainings called the Strategy Table, and I'm building some around my series of coloring books. So check out the coloring books now, but check out for those workshops sometime in Q1. And we just have a lot of exciting things planned. And Brittany's lights just went out. I don't know. We'll figure that out in a few minutes. But we have a lot of things planned for the Keystone Network also this coming year. So keep an eye out on all of those cool things that we're doing. And we will see you guys.
Don't push the button.
Oh, I forgot something?
Yes. So
What did I forget?
the Keystone Network is a collaboration between Sarah and myself. The Keystone Network is a space where we highlight business owners. There's no light here, but we highlight business owners.
We don't highlight ourselves sometimes. We just highlight business.
So we started with, we have a skyscraper where business owners can have virtual offices and conference spaces where they are not stuck in a dingy Zoom area, but they have the ability to show personality and actually be in an office space. As well as we have multiple shows coming up where we specifically highlight what business owners do and great business practices like Unleashed, but and then we're gonna start doing some Reddit stories. So look for us because we are building the Keystone Network.
See, I mentioned it, I just forgot to introduce it. We will do better next time. All right, everyone, see you later and have a good holiday because we won't see you on this show until after Christmas, right? Or no, are we going live on Christmas Eve?
We're doing things.
I'm going to go with we're probably going to go live on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, because I don't fly out that day. I fly out the next.
Yeah, so we probably, unfortunately, will be recorded for December 31st. But it'll be really amazing, as usual. All right, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
1 2 1 2, need my attitude. 3 4 3 4, check my latitude. I like that.